let's get this show on the let's get this show on the road. Hello, my name is Grease Lightning, and welcome to Grease Lightning's Greasy Variety Hour. This is probably only people I know will be listening to this, but hey, you know, a man can hope, and a boy can cry. Anyways, my name is Kyle, and I am going to be reading stories that I do not feel get enough attention. You know, mainly from fairly well-known authors, you know, like H.P. Lovecraft, Edgar Allan Poe, Bram Stoker, people like that. Excuse me. I ate a bunch. Everything's falling apart. I just had a large dinner, and I thought now is a good time to record my voice for people to hear. But yeah, so I'm going to be reading stories that I feel don't get enough attention and should, by fairly well-known authors, or mainly old ones, because they're the ones in public, because they're the ones in public domain, you know. And then I'm going to publish 2 episodes per story. One is going to be edited. It's going to have all the good takes. It's going to have, you know, it's going to be just a story. And then there's going to be this one. Excuse me. The one where I burp. The unedited one, which has all the bloopers in it, all the different takes I'm doing, whatever commentary I decide to vomit up on this microphone. For all of you to hopefully enjoy. So today, children, we're going to be reading... we're going to be reading an H.P. Lovecraft story. We're going to be reading Memory. It's a short, 1-page story that I read it, and it was just this short, sweet little... a really short, sweet little prose poem that I really enjoyed. And I'm starting out with this one because it's only a page long. So if I get this wrong, I didn't waste too much time, you know? So the story is called Memory. So let me see here. Let's begin, shall we? See, you get nice and close up to the microphone. Here we go. Let's do it. I apologize to those of you who are, listening. In the valley of Nis, the accursed waning In the valley of Nis, the accursed waning moon shines thinly, tearing a path for its light with feeble horns through the lethal foliage of a great upas tree. Upas? I'm going to look this up right now, because I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it upas? Upas? Upus? Upus. It's an upus tree. I'm looking this up right now. Because I want to be good. I want the edited ones to be good, and these to be... How do you pronounce upas? Upas tree pronunciation. How does this work? How do then their words work? How do you pronounce this? How to pronounce upas? Excuse me. Alright, so how does this work? How do you pronounce this? Upas. Alright, the upas tree. Okay. Upas. Upas on the upas tree. Alright. That was a classy joke for all of you people at home. Alright. Back to the story, then. I'm going to monitor the recording just to make sure. Make sure everything's okay. Hello, Sophie. Hello, Doofy. How are you doing? Kitty cat. So, let's return. Let's read that again, now that I know how to pronounce it. Now that I know how to say words. In the valley of Nis, the accursed waning moon shines... In the valley of Nis, the accursed waning moon shines thinly, tearing a path for its light with feeble horns through the lethal foliage of a great upas tree. Upas. Yeah, that's right, okay. And within the depths of the valley, where the light reaches not, move forms not meant. This is another thing. In in the text that I'm reading off of, it says meet, meet, not meet to be beheld. Now, Lovecraft is, like, I believe a 19th century author. And, like, when you're reading Lovecraft, you don't just... Every so often you'll come across bits. You're not just going to gloss over the word antediluvian when you find it. Like, when Lovecraft writes that word, you got to stop for a second. This is one of those things where you're not entirely sure if it's something that... if it was correct at the time, or if this was an error. Because the thing is, like, I've read a few of his stories. I've read several. And I don't think I've seen him do this anywhere but here. Like, I don't think I've seen this anywhere else. So, I don't know. Also, I should have said this at the beginning, but I'm going to say it now. Fair warning, when I read, I'm going to get closer to the mic and speak more clearly. So, like, I'll sound louder when I actually read the story. Most of the time, I'm going to be, like, sitting back when I'm talking. So, like, you know, that's going to be a little frustrating at first. I might auto-balance that later. I might, like, just stay close to the mic all the time. I don't know. I'm going to listen to this afterwards. I'm going to post it regardless, but I'm going to listen to this after... Oh! Excuse me. I'm all right. Oh. I'm going to listen to this afterwards. I'm going to listen to this afterwards, and I'm going to see how it sounds. If it's too jarring, at least to me, I'll change it. You know, I'll fix it. I'll do something. There are a couple ways I could do this. You know, just manually balancing and editing it, which would take forever, or just staying close to the microphone, which might be a better idea. You know, just always talking into the microphone, making sure that the audio stays at the same volume, that sort of thing. Oh, goodness gracious. Excuse me. But, you know, this is the first one. This is the very first one. I've never done this before. And, you know, I'm going to learn through trial and error. This is meant to be fun. It is a school project. Have my little glass of snack over here. Just, as well as my bottle of drink. Yeah. It's a good drink. Because, you know, there's one thing I've learned from watching people perform on stage and record things. It's that you always need drink nearby. Some form of drink. And you'll be fine. Everything will be okay. What was I talking about? Ah, yes. I was talking about meat. Like how it says meat to be beheld instead of meant to be beheld. Well, I'm going to say this right now as well. This episode right here, the unedited ones, are going to be me going off on tangents, talking about things, and doing whatever the heck I feel like doing. The edited ones are going to be the story. If you want the story, go watch the edited, or listen to the edited ones. This one's going to be from me. This is mine. This is my little slice of life. This is me having fun, and then I'll clean it up later. You know, so I'm gonna do I'm gonna do like one more take at the beginning of the first sentence, and then do another 2 or 3 takes of the second sentence. Here we go. Excuse me. In the valley of Nis, the accursed waning moon shines thinly, tearing a path for its light with feeble horns through the lethal foliage of a great upas tree. And within the depths of the valley, where the light reaches not, move forms not meant to be beheld. I'm gonna say meant for now. And within the depths of the valley, where the light reaches not, move forms not meant to be beheld. Superman. Rank as the herbage on each slope. Herbage. Herbage. Rank is the herbage on each slope, where evil vines and creeping plants crawl amidst the stones of ruined palaces, twining tightly about broken columns and I'm gonna restart the sentence. Excuse me. Oh, I'm gonna restart the sentence. I lost my place. No, my professionalism is seeping away, seeping out through my pores. Here we go. Rank is the herbage on each slope, where evil vines and creeping plants crawl amidst the stones of ruined palaces, twining tightly about broken columns and strange monoliths, and heaving up marble pavements laid by forgotten hands. And in trees that grow gigantic in crumbling courtyards leap little apes, while in and out of deep treasure vaults writhe poisoned serpents and scaly things without a name. I'm going to do another take of that sentence. I feel like I'm getting a bit too low now. Excuse me. Oh, man. I get just, whenever I eat anything, I get so gassy whenever I eat anything. It's so weird. Excuse me. And in trees that grow gigantic in crumbling courtyards leap little apes. That was terrible to do that. And in trees that... Let me think before I speak. That might be a good idea. And in trees that grow gigantic... Hold on. This was the best time for recording. The best. And in trees that grow gigantic in crumbling courtyards leap little apes, while in and out of deep treasure vaults writhe poisoned serpents and scaly things without a name. That'll do. Excuse me. Reposition myself a little. Yeah. Welcome to Bodily Noises, the podcast. Vast are the stones which sleep beneath coverlets of dank moss. Dank. And mighty were the walls from which they fell. For all time their builders erect them. Erect. For all time did their builders erect them, and in sooth they yet serve nobly, for beneath them the grey toad makes his habitation. The grey toad. Oh my. For beneath them the grey toad makes his habitation. At the very bottom of the valley lies the... Hold on, I think I hit the microphone with my book. At the very bottom of the valley lies the River Than, whose waters are slimy and filled with weeds. That's why it's dank. From hidden springs it rises, and to subterranean grottos it flows, so that the demon of the valley knows not why its waters are... Hold on. Excuse me. Is anyone still there? Are you still listening? If so, you shouldn't be. You should be listening to the edited episode. From hidden springs it rises, and to subterranean grottos it flows, so that the demon of the valley knows not why its waters are red, nor whither they are bound. The genie that haunts the moonbeam... Hold on. The genie that haunts the moonbeams spake to the demon of the valley, saying, I am old and forget much. Tell me the... Let me try that again. Normally I only have one old man voice, and it's the crazy old man. But no, I'm trying to break away from that. I want to break free. Anyways. Want to break free. Now I have that song stuck in my head. Like, am I funny yet? No, I'm going to have to balance that. I'm going to have to balance the crap out of that. I am old and forget much. Tell me the deeds and aspect and the name of the... Hold on. Gotta get the emphasis on the right syllable. Tell me the deeds and aspect and name of them who built these things of stone. And the demon replied, I am... I am memory. I am Iron Man. No. I am memory, and am wise in the lore of the past, but I too am old. What? I said I too am old. Huh? What? Who are you? Where am I? Anyways. But I too am old. These beings were like the waters of the river Than, not to be understood. Their deeds I recall not, for they were but of the moment. They were the but of the moment. Their aspect I recall dimly, for it was like that of the little apes in the trees. Never mind, I just thinking. Their aspect I recalled dimly, for it was like that of the little apes in the trees. Their name I recall clearly, for it rhymed with that of the river. These beings of yesterday were called man. Dun, dun, dun. Yep. Gotta do that take again. I felt a little strained around the end of the sentence. Let me see. Their name I recall clearly, for it rhymed with that of the river. These beings of yesterday were called man. So the genie flew back to the thin-horned moon, and the demon looked intently at a little ape in a tree that grew in a crumbling courtyard, as it picked fleas from another ape and ate them. It was super gross. Anyways, that the last bit, I added that last bit in case you couldn't tell. I have a bit more snack. Excuse me. Drink. Soothe me, drink. Nothing like a little bit of... This is a mess. This is a nightmare. Nothing like a bit of drink and snack to soothe the stomach. Indeed. Should I read another one? I mean, that one was short because I wanted it to be short. At about 18 minutes so far. About 18 minutes long. I mean, like half an hour might be good. I don't know. 18 minutes might be good for a first one. I don't know. I might read another story. Would you like me to read you a story? Would you like me to read you another story? Once upon a time, everyone died. The end. Yes. No, the episode ends. The episode ends now. That's enough. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Tune in next time where I might stop burping. I hope. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.